What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a wonderful night or day. Today we're going to be playing some Spacebourne 2, giving a first impressions look. This is a game that I can highly recommend playing. It's only made by one developer, being developed on the Unity engine, but it's very similar, I would say, to picture like Mountain Blade in space. I don't know if you've ever played the first Spacebourne 2 or first Spacebourne game, but one thing that this game really excels at is the spaceship combat. Now they've also added ground-based combat. I don't remember it being in the first game, but they have added ground-based combat like this, being able to use melee weapons, guns, all kinds of perks like grenades, and other various types of skills. And the game itself, it's very complex. Like, there's a lot to it. What I'm doing right now is a mercenary mission where I go to different planets and I fight these ground-based enemies to try to, take out a boss or take out multiple types of just regular enemies. And what's cool about this is that, oh shit, all of this is procedurally generated. So everything that you're seeing right now, as well as when we open up the galaxy map, it's just like endless. Like, there's so much content and it just lasts forever. Like, you can take on these missions. You've also got the main storyline, but then you've also got an entire faction-based system that you can employ, and I'll be showing you that right after we get done with this area here. Just gotta kill this bastard. He almost got me, by the way. Come here, buttercup. Got you. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, there is an entire... Ooh, this looks nice. I might have to use that. Hell yeah. An entire faction-based system. I'm actually going to show you this in just a second, but you're also able to build your own outposts. You can, I believe you might be able to, I don't know, you might be able to build your own outposts and full-on stations. I think that is a thing, actually. Yeah, but you can also have your own army. You can build your own faction, of course, which is what I believe we're planning to do in the main storyline. There's a vast array of different ships. Well, so far, I think there's... At least I've only seen like 10 so far. I don't know if we do get more or if we have to unlock them via getting access to the different guilds, like getting access to the vendors that sell them. But either way, so far there's quite a few different ships. They all have their own types of perks. Like, there's drone-based ships. There's, of course, like mining-based ones or like trading and exploration-based ones. And then there's also ones like this, which are the fighters. So you can use different abilities like weapon bursting, which allows you to activate both of your weapon groups at the same time. You can also do like engine bursting for movement and just all kinds of stuff that you can do. So let's go ahead and start with the map itself. So it's very similar to like No Man's Sky when you open up the map, the galaxy map. I mean, there is so many different planets, and like I said, a lot of this is all of it is procedurally generated. Planets that you can travel to, cities that you can actually go to. Some of the cities, or at least one that I've seen so far, that seems like a really big one, I haven't been able to fully explore yet. It seems like it's just kind of in the baseline, or like it's kind of like in the starting stages right now. And some of the points of interest that you can find, they don't seem to be fully developed yet, but honestly, for what they do have at the moment, there's quite a bit of stuff to do. So you can take on different missions. Like I said, first it starts off with joining a guild. So I'm a part of the Freelancers Guild and the Mercenary Guild so far. And there's also the Bounty Hunters Guild if you want to track people down that have, that are pirates. Miners Guild, Explorers Guild. These three are unknown, but I'm pretty sure this one right here is the pirate-based guild. Now, once you join the guild, you can access what's known as the bounty board. So, at least for the Fighters Guild, or I'm sorry, the what's it called? The Bounty Hunters Guild, Mercenary Guild, and Freelancers Guild, you can access the bounty board. So there's an endless supply of looking for pilots, which are space-based missions for ships. There's a lot of them for mercenary as well. These are the ground-based ones, like the one that I just did. And tracking ships for tracking these pirates down if you want to attack them. You can also just at any time, if you want to, you can become a pirate yourself and just start going after random ships or even stations potentially. I haven't actually seen any option for attacking a station just yet, but I know that with the faction system, like for the diplomacy, and this is kind of where like the Mountain Blade aspects come in. You can see how all of these different factions have their own territories. They have their own fleets, which you can also have your own fleet as well. They have their own territories, their own fleets, and they have their own places of space that they reside in as well, and like have territory over. And even this menu here, this looks very similar to what I remember from like Mountain Blade Warband, from where you could kind of open up a faction menu and see the exact areas that they have, like it would show the names of them. This totally reminds me of Mountain Blade Warband, and I believe in one of the mods, or in some of the mods, it would also show you like the power that they have, like the fleets or the armies in Mountain Blade Warband or the original. But so far, there's a lot of different factions here. I don't know if these are all procedurally generated or if these guys are predefined, but like we've got the Morthra faction, which these guys seem like more like good guys, but I haven't really read their storyline yet, so they could be more like an Imperial faction. And then you got Falron, looks like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factions there. Zeghan, looking good. And then you've of course got the Pirates, 3 there, and Independents. So there's a lot of people to come across, a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of stuff to conquer, really. As far as like the diplomacy goes, I haven't actually jumped into this too far yet, but I would imagine that you would be able to actually communicate with these people, form alliances, take on, you know, wars and that sort of thing. Right now, this main story mission that we're going to is going to, I believe, allow us to get more into that. So we're going to go ahead and take a trip there, but I just wanted to kind of showcase some of the systems that you can kind of come across. As far as like the crew and your fleet, you can get crew members, like these guys will be on your ship, but they also allow you to unlock different bonuses. So for this guy, for example, I can, where am I supposed to put him? Yeah, so I can put him into the leadership position, and once I do, that allows his perk to be active, which allows him to shoot enemies behind my ship and disrupt their pursuit, which I think I'll definitely keep that on. And then alongside this, I think you might be able, at least in the future, be able to take these people onto the ground with you. So far I haven't had the ability to do this, but at least when I first met them, they were following me around on the ground. So I'm not sure. Maybe I have to complete the main story mission fully first, because that's where I found them, was in the main storyline. So maybe that's why. But I guess we'll have to see when it comes to that portion. But as far as your ship goes, like I mentioned, you have different perks that you have access to. The type of perks that your ship has is predefined. So when you're in the menu for buying a ship, you have to pay attention to that, because if you buy one that you don't really agree with perk wise, then you just wasted a bunch of money. And so far, right now at least, it doesn't seem possible to sell ships, but I think that's probably going to be something coming in the near future. So once you have a ship, you can take off parts like components and stuff like that, but you can't actually sell it from what I was able to see so far. Weapons wise, you've got the Gatling guns, which is what I've got here. By the way, there are going to be some translation errors and text-based errors, so just keep that in mind as well. And these pulse ones, these are more specialized towards shields, so you would kind of start with this and take down a ship shield before you go into your Gatling gun sort of thing. You can also get beams along with rail guns as well. And then you've got missile launcher, like a missile launcher pod. You can also put a drone bay on your ship if it can fit one, or a torpedo bay on it as well. And then for your character, you can, oh, this is a bug, by the way, because of the specific gun that I have on, this plasma pistol or laser pistol. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do with your character as well. You can specialize the type of armor that you wear. You can put on all kinds of different weapons. So that plasma rifle or pulse rifle that I just got, I'll probably end up putting that on for a little bit. Sniper rifle's my secondary weapon of choice, but there's also shotguns. There's quite a few. The shock beam one, which is like a Tesla coil. And then you've got multiple different types of melee weapons that you can equip. And X is the button for melee, if you don't know, by the way. That took me a little bit of time to figure out, because I was trying to press every button and it didn't seem to be working, even when I did press X, and I wasn't sure why. So we've just reached our destination, went through the Stargate, and now we are preparing to warp to the station that we need to go to. So as far as I know, from a story perspective, what we're doing right now is going to this Lions station, which is in pirate space, from what I remember. And we're going to talk to this person that can help our faction gain some notoriety, propaganda to be exact. And that's going to help us draw more people in so that we can gain more allies and then start making a foothold for ourselves in the world, so to speak. So I think what we'll do here is we'll show off the station a little bit, and then we'll talk to the people. Something to note is that right now your character isn't voice acted. The characters themselves are. But like I mentioned, there will be some, translation errors or stuff like that, so to speak. Or translation errors, text-based issues, or, whatnot. But one thing I really like is the fact that everything is like seamless. Most of the planet travel, that's a different story, because when you're traveling from planets to space, there is a little bit of like a loading sequence, just because when you're warping, it's kind of like a warping animation. Really, it's hard to explain until we actually do it. But I love the fact that you can, you know, fly to the ships or fly to the stations, dock on them manually, and then fly to the planets and dock on them manually as well. I just love that. I would hate for it to be like more loading screen based, because right now I think it's in a pretty perfect state. This is the first time I'm seeing this kind of station, actually. And there's supposed to be vendors like all around here. I actually probably passed them, to be honest. But either way, we're just heading up to talk to that person over there. So we'll see if we can find some on the way back. Or, oh, there's one right there. So that's the turrets. I can kind of show you a little bit of that really quick. So yeah, like I mentioned, you've got multiple different types of weapons to choose from. Torpedo set right there. These ones are pretty expensive, but I do have some stuff I could sell, because I was able to salvage some parts from one of the other ships that I purchased, and I was able to, you know, gain some good loot that I got from like ground-based assaults and stuff like that. There's also like more dynamic event type stuff that you can find, where you might go to a planet, take a mission to raid a base, but then there might be somebody there like that's a survivor that asks you to go to a specific camp nearby to take the rest of the people out to gain an extra reward. And as far as I know, once we get fully settled into this faction system, doing that kind of stuff is also going to allow us to sometimes find followers that we can recruit into our own, maybe even have in our fleet that can fly with us, or potentially even follow us on the ground. We'll have to see if that actually ends up being a thing. But one thing that will be a thing, though, or is already a thing, is secret areas. So you can actually purchase scanner probes. Like I mentioned, there's exploration-based stuff. So you got scanner probes that you can scan planets with, but also you can scan in space. So you can find these, I believe they're called echoes, to find different locations that you wouldn't normally see inside of the maps.
Oh my god. I have to blink to make sure my eyes aren't playing tricks on me. You are Inca?
No.
It is an honor. What can I do for you? Who are you?
He is son of Commander.
The commander. Wow. Some big shit is going on.
So like I said, though, the game, your character isn't voice acted. Everybody else is, to a degree. And there is a full-on character creation system as well. It's actually pretty cool. I like the character creation system they've got going on. You can choose different backgrounds, like if you want to be a pirate, a freelancer to get bonus rewards from missions, a captain that can have bonus damage given to the ships in his fleet. There's a couple of different ones like that, like merchant and I believe miner as well. So those could be really cool if you want to specialize in something specific. Oh, here we go. I was just on my way out because we're going to go to another system to break a technician out that is going to help us with the broadcasting. And we got a secret mission here. Also, one thing I wanted to point out is, like I mentioned beforehand, there are talents. So you can specialize your character. There is experience to be gained on both the soldier side and the pilot side. I'm almost level 10 as a pilot. I don't know where I got the adventuring experience from. Maybe I was mining something accidentally while I was traveling. But right now I do have a level up on my soldier side, so let me take a look here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one more point in there, and I'll put 2 points into agility because that's gonna help with my energy that I use for skills. And there's also some pretty cool perks in the energy section, like blink for teleporting. You got the AG grenade, so you can throw a grenade on the ground if you want to. You can set up a turret, put up a barrier, but I think that's in one of the other ones. Ground slum, so this one looks like launch player to the ground while using a jetpack, knock all enemies in 50 meters. This one gives you more experience, and then I believe this one has the barricade. Yep, there we go. Barricade one, and then I have the dynamic shield from this one, so whenever I press 4, it'll generate a shield in front of me that can protect me for at least 10 seconds. So there's multiple different ones that you can choose in the soldier one, but also in the pilot side. These ones are more like, instead of activatables, these are more like passives. And then adventuring, I think that's the same deal there as far as that goes. So soldier's kind of like the only one that really has the actives. And then once you, oh nice. And then once you go into like your actual ship components, that's when you can actually put specific types of activatables on your ship. Like if you want to have probe catchers that will allow you to, like, once you destroy an enemy vessel, if a probe comes out, you can capture them. So these are the probes that I mentioned for like scanning stuff, and then these are combat drones here. But I think one of these might be related to like gathering, maybe. I don't know. That one's called Scrappy, so who knows? Rockets, torpedoes. I need to fill up my rockets actually. Yeah, torpedoes, and then you got weapon management here, so you can kind of choose your whole setup really. If you want to like have more beam weapons on, you can do that. And then you right now I have Gatling and pulse weapons, but I might switch back to beam at some point, who knows. Like I said, this is the component section. I actually forgot to put these on. That's my pod catchers, my damage boosters and shield boosters. So all self-explanatory there, but yeah, there's quite a bit to the game itself and the customization of both your character as a whole and your ship. With that, we are going to be leaving the station in just a moment. Oh my goodness. And let us go to the next system. Also, this is like the tactical map where you can, like, once you're inside of a system, you can see what it all has. So you got like the mercenary guild here. This is the station that we're at right now. Different planets, escape route, which I believe is just more of like a thing that if you need somewhere quick to warp, you can just use that. And also, if you were to press B,
warp drive online.
I think it's because I have that specifically targeted, but like if you're aiming at a planet or something and you press the B button, or just normally if you don't have something selected and you press B, then your warp drive should activate and you should be able to see a bunch of different targets on your screen for targets that are capable of being warped to. So it's something that's really useful when you're exploring, especially if you're going to go to a planet, because you don't want to warp to the wrong location on a planet because it's going to take you a second to get there and then also a second to get back into orbit. They've also got a really cool system for warping. Like, I'm really enjoying the hell out of warping just about anywhere, especially the Stargates though. The warping side of it, you get really used to it after like the first, second, or third time. But the Stargates, I think, are really impressive. What they allow you to do, of course, is transport between different systems. But as you're doing it, you're able to get scanned. Like, because what will happen is, let's say you have to go 4 or 5 systems away. You can select your destination as that exact system, and then once you travel to the Stargate or start traveling through it, it's gonna waypoint you automatically. So the way that this works is I'll talk to the Stargate, which by the way, this is the communication menu where I could talk with other people. So if I wanted to talk to this pilot and ask for a mission if they have one, or if they have anything to trade, I can do that, and aggressive actions as well. And then once I want to actually talk to the Stargate, I can go jump to next route. Also, by the way, I didn't actually take that secret mission because I realized we're in the pirate sector, so more than likely whatever I'm going to be doing in that mission, it's probably going to be pirate related. But I did bookmark this system, so I'll definitely be coming back here to take that mission later. Just want to make sure that I'm fully prepared for something like that first.
You reached the waypoint of your route. Please wait for your ship to be scanned.
Super cool system. Super cool system. Still blows my mind that it was only developed by one developer.
The next waypoint is being passed. N3, 2, 1. Destination reached.
There we go. All right, so let's say I wanted to take a look at all of the warp points on my screen.
Drive online.
This is what I'm talking about, right? So, oh, I see the asteroid field over there. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, if you're a miner, you could go over there, but this isn't even all of the types of locations that we could find. Like I mentioned, I could activate a probe, so this will start scanning, and this is my first time doing this actually. So we're actually discovering this together. This is pretty interesting.
Scan operation successful.
So the
system includes a new signal point.
Interesting. Yeah, so the echoes thing that we saw just a second ago, that's the thing I was talking about where apparently you can kind of keep scanning. I think I assume that you have to keep scanning, and then you can find new locations through that system.
Calibration module activated. Calibration completed. Waiting for the thruster input.
Here we come.
All right, so let's go find this technician.
Spot and wait for the carrier ship.
Okay. So our job is to infiltrate this station, and then we are going to...
Start following by keeping your distance.
Okay. We'll try to hang at that 700, 800 meter mark. If you want to, you can also turn off your ship's engines, which in the middle of the combat doing this makes it so that you're harder to target. That's left all. So if you're in the middle of combat and you've got a missile coming at you or people that are just coming at you from all sides, if you do that, then it's probably going to make you a little bit harder to hit. Apparently that's what it does. You can also shoot out flares by pressing X while you're in a spaceship, just in case you got a missile coming at you, like I mentioned. Let me back up just a little bit here. You can also redistribute power to your systems. So like in the bottom right corner here,
How many prisoners
using the arrow keys, I can kind of put more power to the thrusters.
in the future, when we have enough power, we can seize such places, free the prisoners and expand our army.
Also, we will be able to take over stations. Okay. Well, I guess we'll be able to take over territory and then build our own stations as far as I remember reading. But that might have just been talking about, you know, taking control of them and building them up.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear by pressing N, by the way. I love the gravity boot system as well, and you can also use that by pressing G. Saw it somewhere. Nice.
What's going on? What is happening?
We go
Ah,
there.
shiz.
Try to avoid their attacks and leave the asteroid.
Do I even have any weapons? It doesn't seem like it. I have missiles, which I can't seem to fire.
Recharging.
It's okay. It's okay.
Shield recharging.
Oh boy. Maybe not okay. Oh, that's us shooting. Nice. That is very cool. Yeah, so I just actually activated that guy. I didn't have him in the crew spot before, or like the commander spot of my crew.
Shield recharging.
But now that I do, it seems like he's actually, that's really freaking cool. Looks like he's actually trying to fire out of the back side of the ship. Good for him.
Let's walk away.
Drive
It doesn't
online.
matter where. Just
Doesn't matter. Tell me twice.
be able to hold that attacks any longer.
Calibration module activated.
Got the calibration going.
Calibration completed. Waiting for the thruster input.
Trying. They're getting close. Come on, come on. Ooh, I like that aura it's giving off. That's pretty sick.
Shield recharging.
We got it. Just in the nick of time, pretty
We are
much.
safe now. Good job.
All right.
What the fuck?
Your
Language.
is jammed. Wait there. We are on our way.
Great. I just noticed, though, that it looks... Yeah, this is a carrier ship, isn't it? So this one does actually have drones.
Leave that ship and come here.
We could have used those drones, too, but no need. Although I do appreciate the fact that that actually had combat drones. Thank goodness for that. What do you mean, take off?
Landing gear retracted.
All right, here we go.
Destroy.
Shield recharging. Target shields.
That's the flare I was telling you about.
Target destroyed.
Like I was saying, Spacebourne has incredibly good ship combat. Because like X4, for example, damn, this dude's doing work. The game called X4, for example, that would be the one that I would have normally considered as like a space-based Mountain Blade, because it's a pretty expansive game. There's a lot that you can do in that one, but I feel like one of the most important things to have in a space-based game, alongside that expansive world, is the combat system. It needs to be there. And so far, I've been really, really enjoying the crap out of this one. It's definitely one of the best combat systems I've ever seen. By the way, stabilizing the pod
The Stargates are
makes it
home.
stop moving like crazy so that I can use a
We need to jump Itog's system from here.
Pod stabilized.
capture
You're right.
probe.
Jump takes much longer this way. It
Hey.
gives serious headaches. But I guess there is no other way.
All weapons online.
That's not what I meant to do. How do I use the, hold on. Give me a moment. One thing I forgot to mention is, oh boy. That is really cool. So I can take that person prisoner. Maybe I can free them. I doubt it, actually, because I just actually attacked the crap out of these dudes. But yeah, so something I forgot to, sorry, is that when you're on a planet, you can actually talk to your ship through this this communication menu up here and summon a bike, kind of like a hover bike from Halo. So that's a pretty cool thing. So if you're, you know, not keen on traveling on foot and you need to get somewhere while you're on a planet, that thing could be really cool. It's also got guns on it too, which is pretty nice. Graphically as well, like the game itself is very beautiful, especially in certain areas. Like there's this one station that I love going into. I took a picture of it a couple days ago, and it is gorgeous in there. Like oh, I love the way that it looks. Those shiny ass floors. Okay, what have you got for me?
Gold, I thought I would never see you again.
Me too. I can't believe you went to this much trouble to save me. Glad to hear that.
Explain the situation.
How I can help you with that.
It's on your mind.
The problem of the Earthlings is that they keep up with the galaxy technology.
Oh, that's an error.
You will establish an organization. I can also set up a communication interface where a few weeks, maybe.
Do it. All right.
Right away. There is so
In the meantime, we need to find some more. It is not possible to collect the Earthlings one by one.
Like who?
Moliax.
No way.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
A psychopath exiled by your father for what he did in his time.
But he is a good commander. At the same time, he has a lot of soldiers around him even now.
More psychopaths.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. We can find soldiers, but it is too fucking hard to find or train generals. We need Moliax, whether you accept it or not.
Even if I approve of this, do you think Moliax would agree to join us?
Trust me, he will.
You don't know Moliax, but he is very difficult to control. So, what do you think about that?
I honestly don't think we should be dealing with a psychopath that is hard to control. Yeah. Normally, like we need everyone, especially 2SCs in general. I think we should go ahead and have a talk. No, I can kind of see a problem in the future.
Let me set up a meeting with him. If you don't like it, we'll leave whenever you want.
Okay.
All right.
Set up a meeting.
Engine module online.
Let's meet this crazy bastard. I must admit, I like the setup you got going on here. I don't know. See, like, the military part of me is like, let's take this guy, but
look who has graced my humble ship.
yeah, I can. This dude is like one big insubordination sandwich, though. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise, my old friend. It must be our commander's son.
And what did she say, that he was exiled by my father for what he did in his time?
And like the upbeat
Hmm.
not happen with the monarchy.
Okay, what's on your mind? There's a following general, Cool R, obsessed with me. He needs to go. Not do your dirty work.
You should know his problem is not only with me, but with all Earthlings. If he hears WRA is real,
Oh, really?
don't worry. He's coming here. He thinks from now on, wait for him to come here, and you know, prey becomes predator.
What in the fuck is that?
So, our admiral's ships are destroyed. What are we going to do?
We're going to run. Oh my fucking hell.
I signal to leave that ship.
Oh. Oh my god, what is this? Oh my. Whoa, buddy. Nobody told me about this. Wait, I want to look at it. I want to look at it. Oh my god. Should I shoot it? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Time to go.
Sorry.
Oh my good lord. Nobody told me this was going to be like Alien versus Predator stuff. All right, I think we should end it there to avoid spoilers. I'm going to have to... Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and record more of this, but first we're gonna stop it there. My first impression so far, wildly impressive game. That was a very interesting surprise. Very enjoyable surprise, though. All right. Highly recommend checking this game out. I believe it's on sale for Steam right now. Like I said, get in. You can kind of play it just like Mountain Blade. There's a lot of different content you can take part in. Main story quest seems to be pretty long so far, which is pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. A lot of stuff to do there, and I can't wait to actually start my own faction. But anyway, folks, I will catch you folks later. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good one.